post the colors.
And then call people up on their seats. Wait, no, I do that in a little bit.
So just
That's on my agenda.
I just want to make sure we're going to line the candidates up. So they're going to post the colors first.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then make an announcement with the candidates. Please proceed, and we'll march them up. And one color will sit on one side, the other color sit on the other side.
Yes, sir. At this time with the police and sheriff escort. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just hope he's got this over here. So they have a little music as they march up. We'll find. If he does it, he does it. Doesn't, does it. It won't be the end of the world. Yeah. It's hard working off 2 different scripts. You're
okay.
doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Give me a sec. He's the party platform chairman. What's up? Federalist. Moderator, yeah. Fish. Where is he? Where is he? All right, as we're coming in, I need all lobbyists to go to Samir in the back corner as you're coming in. Again, I need all lobbyists to talk to Samir in the back corner. Oh, shit. That's me. Oh, yeah. What? Both, of course, yeah. Both. Of course. Where is he? Where's Maxwell? You're Maxwell, right? I'm not going to tell. He can do it if he wants, bro. I don't care. Yeah, I see that. Thank you, thank you. All right, again, as lobbyists are coming in, please go to Samir in the back corner and sign up on the sheet so I can read it aloud. Also, as candidates come in that were elected yesterday, go to the back so you guys can line up all together. Thanks. Sir? Again, as lobbyists come in, please report to Samir in the back corner. What? Because I'm scared of him. All candidates, please line up in the back. Okay, so I do it once then. This makes him sit down. Oh, you got it. Sorry. County of Spafford, advance the colors. Hand salute. Post colors. Two. Good morning, Boys State. My name is Michael Talbot. My number is 0268. I'm from Rye, New York, but right now I'm from Fish County. I will be our moderator today, so my goal is to keep this as fair as possible and as efficient as possible for the entire rally and then the election at the end. Sound good? All right, let's get started. So to start, I want to say anytime the band plays, the audience can stand and stretch in place in front of your chairs. At this time, would the police and sheriff escort the candidates into the hall? I would now like to introduce the lobbyists. All right, I'm going to introduce the lobbyists now. All right. What? All right, now I'm going to introduce the lobby. Okay. Hey, can you get him to stop next time, though? Yeah. All right, I actually need to do it, though, so. All right, I'm going to start reading names now. All right, Samir Sheikh, 044. Come on. All right, we have Nathan Nagivan, 0150. Darsh Chazray, 0496. Oliver Rapala, 0361. Remington Hansen, 0416. Samuel Bourne, 0232. As you get called up, please stand with Samir here. All the lobbyists right here. As I call you up. What? Yeah, I called you second. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Zachary Danhauser, 0226. Ethan All, 0457. Shane Kook, 0618. Zachary Monaco, 0597. Torrance Bonsbach, 0038. Come on up. Lucas Martinez, 0497. Max Goldstein, 0279. Charles Hughes, 0599. Colin Toothel, 0672. Jeffrey Lynn, 0423. Brady Ozimek, 0315. Henry Joyce, 0425. Oh, shit, I'm going to botch this. Cody Zavatsky, 0652. Ryan Green, 0613. Daniel Menendez, 0645. Philip NG. I don't know how to say that, but what? All right, Philip, 0648. Samuel DuPont, 0260. And Ryan Pastore, 0264. The other lobbyists come up too. I don't have your names on the list. All right, so there's going to be propositions here. We're going to have 3 lobbyists at a time come up to the microphone. The first one will read the proposition. The second one will present the argument for the proposition, and the third one will present the argument against the proposition. So I heard there's like 8 or 10, so once they're all done, keep track. Take notes throughout this entire meeting because the voting is going to happen at the very end. It's not like the other meetings we've had. They're all going to be at the end on our phones. So please keep notes, keep track of who you want to vote for so you can remember them later. So can I have my first few lobbyists present the first proposition?
Okay, for our first referendum, we have the referendum for EpiPens. Never mind. Referendum to have guide-on flags for the purposes of identification of each county and pride in individual counties.
I am the proposed solution of why we should have guide-on flags. Vote yes to guide-on flags. Guide-on flags will help create individual county representation. When you are marching with your county, each county will have a representative holding the guide-on flag, so this way we know which county is which county. The guide-on flags will be created based on your county's name, who it is named after. We'll be doing research on who it is named after and create the county flag as is. The flag will be in proper standard form and uniform. It will be made in America, and it will be representative of all counties. All counties will have each individual flag, and each individual flag will be passed down.
Some potential harm of the flag referendum would be 1, the logistics of creating a flag, 2, non-unanimous agreement on the design of the flag, and 3, the time it would take to instill a flag.
All right, let's propose the next one. For the second referendum, we propose for how we are determining who is creating the flags.
So in the basis of determining the flags, each flag would be designed by its county members based on the general that each county is named after. So you would design them, and then Boise State would make them for the next year, and then these would either be the permanent or non-permanent flags for each county. We'll consider the previous anti-views to be also the same for this one, so we'll just move on.
Okay, what's the next one? You got EpiPens. So uncontroversial. The referendum for EpiPens?
Yes. Do you want to present that?
So then you want me to present it?
I'll back you.
All right. The third referendum is for EpiPens to be instilled in all. Wait, what's it called again? EpiPens. No, but instilled in where?
Oh, in schools.
EpiPens should be instilled in all public schools, so when an allergic reaction occurs, there is one necessary.
I also agree with this motion because of the idea that epinephrine is extremely expensive. We don't have universal health care in America. EpiPens are almost $800 for a pack of 2. However, even though this seems like a humongous cost to the government, we're not going to be buying it at this humongously upcharged price. In reality, EpiPens to produce cost roughly $2 to $8. So if we're able to get this low-costing solution into almost all schools, we can prevent very, very, very dangerous things from happening to students all across the world. We have AEDs in public schools. Why can't we have EpiPens?
Wait, just a reminder, when they come up against it, say vote no, and when they come for it, they say vote yes. All right, who's against it? I can do it. I'll go. Oh, you're against it?
One potential argument against EpiPens would be that students may rely too much on having EpiPens. One argument against EpiPens would be that students may rely too much on schools having EpiPens. This may result in people who have allergic reactions being unprepared when they are in a specific situation in which an AED is not available.
Okay, do cost and they expire.
What?
They expire yearly.
I'd like to clarify a few things about the bill. First off, the proposed referendum will cost $1.3 million. This will be, no, 1.3 million for one in schools. We did the math on this. That is 0.003% of the New York State education budget. This is estimated to save conservatively 10 lives and at maximum 30 lives. That is 10 to 30 lives of children that you can save by voting for this bill and reallocating 0.0034% of the New York State education budget. Now, I would also like to say this is a bill created by Andrew Smith from the county of Fish, and I would like for you guys to give an applause to him. And thank you.
The next is the Clean Camp Initiative. This would add garbage bags to the Boys State packing list. This would also make Boys State provide any if people forget them and have garbage cans in all rooms.
All right, gentlemen, can you all hear me? How many of you have had to walk down your hallways this Boys State multiple times with little pieces of plastic that you forgot because maybe you got a new toothbrush or something like that and you had to go back and forth, throwing out one piece of trash? This referendum that we are proposing, there's technically two sides to it. One would be we put it on the packing list and then, so kids know they should bring a garbage bag with them that they could keep in their rooms and then they could dump it into the communal trash bin. Or another side of it would be that Boys State themselves have to provide each camper with a trash bag upon arrival, just like they provided you with the shirts, the pins, and the Bibles and all of the bottles, all that jazz. So that is our referendum. Pros, obviously, we're promoting cleanliness among our halls, our dormitories. I'm sure a lot of you have gotten yelled at by your sergeants for having unclean rooms. I know some people at the bottom of Mohawk Hall have been had their rooms tossed already. I saw fans in the hallways, and I'm sure that wasn't fun to clean up. So this referendum, if you guys do decide to support it, would hopefully make it so that never happens again. Thank you.
All right, I want trash cans as much as the next guy, but there's one consideration I'd like to give you guys. So, as you guys know, a lot of people bring food from the dining halls, my entire county, and brings it to the dorms, especially a lot of fresh produce. My bad, guys. They know who they are. But anyways, having bananas, apple cores, and stuff like that in local garbage cans just invites more spiders and more flies into your own rooms. It's a lot smarter to have one humongous centralized garbage can, so all the spiders, all the bugs, all like I can't say that word, all the bad smell is in one place, and we don't have to deal with it. Vote neg.
For referendum number 5, be it resolved the digital election system that is used for the state elections be also used for county and party elections. All right, who's fighting for this? Who's yay for this one? He's defending it.
All right. Obviously, we know the positive side to this. Raise your hand if during a county or county party election, you guys did not use a secret ballot. People lined up behind a candidate. You could see who people voted for. How many people had a system like that? Raise your hand. A lot of us, right? That probably swayed a few people, didn't it? You see your friend voting over there for him, you say, well, crap, I'm going to go vote for him now. We're not voting based on the candidates or their strengths, their weaknesses. You vote based on the popular opinion. If the founding fathers thought that was wrong, I think we can find it in our hearts to say that was wrong too. Vote yes on this referendum to have a secret ballot for all and have a protected democracy here at Boise State, the best place in the world.
No, I'm going against. Wait, is ours next?
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to be speaking against this referendum, and let me tell you why. All right, so our electronic voting system is set up by essentially like one or two individuals. Can we all give a nice round of applause to our tech guys and Ben? They make all of this possible. Now, we have 10 counties here, correct? 10 counties. Imagine setting up 10 of these different elections. Not only would that be such a strain on Ben and on our tech guys, but it'd also be complicated, and logistically it's not feasible. It's way too overcomplicated. Vote nay.
No, we're exempt of all weed if you're under 18. No, we're exempt of all weed. Oh my God, exempt of all taxes. The next proposed referendum is that we want to exempt all wage tax if you are under the age of 18.
I'm the one presenting. Yeah.
Oh, you're defending?
Yeah. Abolition of income taxation on minors under 18 in New York State is what I propose. This referendum proposes to exempt all individuals under the age of 18 from, can you guys hear me right? Is this good level? You want me to restart or did you hear it good? All right. This referendum proposes to exempt all individuals under the age of 18 from paying state and local income taxes in New York State. This measure is rooted in the American founding principle of democratic representation and fairness, particularly in the ideal that taxation must come from representation. A principle enshrined in the revolutionary cry of no taxation without representation. Who here is 18? None of us. Can any of you vote? No. Are you taxed? How many of you got a job? How many of you got a job? Do you like being taxed? No. Do you get to decide what happens with your tax money? No. Vote yes on my referendum, and we will end income tax on the local level and the state level. Thank you.
So what he just said is he wants representation for people under 18. So that means that we're going to have to elect 15-year-old freshman senators and other stuff like that. That would be on terms with his representation. And personally, I don't want freshmen in Congress. Vote nay. Vote no.
No, bro, come on. Dude, did you hear, bro? Everyone hates this.
Do you want me to read your referendum? I got it. I don't know, because then you want to defend it.
Low-key, I'm going to be have to on my tiptoes for that thing. Okay, so I have a referendum to propose. We call it the Fair Share Plan. So we've noticed that a lot of the upper tax brackets don't have tax for their assets. So we're thinking that for people who have more than $100 million of net worth must file their net worth. And so, for those, and we're implementing a 1% tax on all money above 100 million. Say you have 200 million. 100 million is only considered for this tax of 1%. Now, this comes with exceptions, of course. When calculating your net worth, For your primary residence, the value of your primary residence is decreased by 75%. All other real estate is decreased by 10%. And any sort of business or corporation is decreased by 35%, and your stocks value is decreased by 65%. This is a serious one we're proposing to Senate itself, the New York State Senate, not for Boise State alone. So once all your value deductions are considered, what your total net worth is above $100 million is taxed at 1%. This will be reviewed if we notice any discrepancies by the IRS and audited to make sure this is accurate. Thank you.
Let me get some decorum in here quickly. Now listen, this referendum is a lot more complicated than some of the other ones we've seen today, and I understand that, but that's why I need you to pay attention. So let me explain this for you, okay? Everyone listening? Is everyone listening? All right, so let me explain this. I'm voting for the affirmative, and let me tell you why. All right, there are individuals at the top of this tax bracket, and by that I mean the top 0.1%. Raise your hand if you or someone you know has a net worth of over $100 million. All right, so now these individuals, right, they would still have deductions. So what Samir was saying before is that, for example, your primary residence. Who here lives in Long Island? Long Island represent, yeah? So Long Island has got some really high real estate prices, right? You only would be calculated for 75% of what your primary residence is. What that means is that your net worth would be lower. So even those individuals who say you have a $100 million net worth, it's probably actually less than that when calculated under this tax. Now to get under to the brass tacks of why we think this is necessary, there are rich individuals who receive their salary in the form of stocks. That doesn't get taxed by our income tax. So they're not paying their fair share. And now we like equality here though, right? Do we like equality? Do we want to fund our schools? Do we want to fund Boise State? So for all of these proposals, they all require some amount of money. And that's where we can get this money from, by taxing the individuals who have the ability to pay it and who have been neglecting to pay it before. Thank you.
I am the opposition to this bill. A wealth tax in New York State means multiple things. Firstly, and most devastatingly, an increase in capital flight. All of the rich individuals that own assets in New York State will immediately move their assets outside of New York State. This has already been shown. Tax havens like the tax haven of Delaware and Seattle show incredible amounts of capital flight because they have low income taxes and no wealth tax. Secondly, on the stock market, all rich individuals will begin to move their companies from the New York State Stock Exchange to the NASDAQ. This is a terrible and untenable situation. The New York State Stock Exchange represents billions of dollars in the American economy. Once it's moved out to an international stock exchange like the NASDAQ, we lose funding. Thirdly, property value goes down significantly. How many of your families own a home? All of you guys that own a home, your homes will be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or possibly millions of dollars less because of the capital flight associated with a wealth tax. Your assets will be taxed and your assets will decrease in value. Therefore, negate the wealth tax. Those are pretty weak. Huh? Oh. There is a proposal to prevent capital flight, and that is an exit tax on the state. That would mean that any property leaving the state would need to be taxed by the state government. Not only is this unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in a precedent set by Boston Stock Exchange versus US, it would mean that whenever you want to move out of state, your assets and your money that is being moved would be taxed by this wealth tax.
Okay, I'll need to correct. No. Are you nay? Are you nay? Are you nay? No, we can't do counter. We can't do counter.
Let's fact check.
We can't do counter. There's no exit tax.
Because he misquoted our bill.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just a correction, there is no exit tax outside of New York State. If you're leaving New York State, will not be an exit tax. Are you a counter? No, you can't. We're not doing counter. No, we're not doing counter. I was just correcting.
We don't want to take.
Are you sure that was true? No.
Samir just said it. That doesn't mean it's. All right, just search it up.
Oh my God. I was telling you to fact check.
No.
I'm telling you to fact check, Mr. Moderator. Do you think I should speak?
Are you speaking against it? Because that's what we're doing right now.
Exit tax.
We're only supposed to have one lobbyist speaking against it.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, are we done? Okay.
All right. The referendums are completed.
All right, thank you, lobbyists. Can one of you move this mic to where it was yesterday for other people that want to talk later? All right, thank you, lobbyists. Remember, later when we vote, if you're for the proposition, you got to vote yes, and if you're against the proposition, you vote no. That'll be on our phones at the end of the election here. All right, listen up. The next thing we're doing is a coin flip for the order of who will speak first. So I'm going to flip this coin. Heads is going to be nationalist. Tails will be federalist. I'm going to flip it. If it's heads, then the nationalists will get to pick whether all of their candidates consistently throughout the election will go first, which will make the federalist candidates go second, or vice versa. So I'll flip it now. This, for who wants to see, this is heads. This is tails. So it is heads. The nationalists get to pick whether they want to go first or second. I would like to call up the Nationalist Party chairman to make that decision.
The Nationalist Party would like to go second.
Okay, at this time, the parties will present their platforms, starting with the Nationalist Party. They will go for, with the Federalist Party, because they will go first for everything for the rest of today. So, I would like to call up Alex Gentile, number 0398, to introduce the party platform chairman.
All right, how we doing, gentlemen? How we doing? Okay, so we're gonna first start off with the party platform, what the Federalist Party stand for, and we have our platform speaker. He will be coming up here and listing out some laws and some just legislative bills that we really want to propose. We have member 0300, Frank, and he will be coming up and going over the bills and the laws.
Okay, I would now like to call up the Nationalist Party chairman, Kyle Lee, number 0201.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Kyle Lee, number 201 from Cogotec County, and I'm pleased to announce that our party platform representative will be Jameson Dalpe, number 0303 from Stenberg County.
Hello, gentlemen. My name's Frank. My number's 0300, and I am the platform chairman for the Federalist. So, hey guys. So the first point we would like to discuss is lowering tax cuts for businesses who hire from low-income families. Our second point that we decided was to lower the cost of living across the board for every New Yorker, no matter the county. The third point we discussed was to increase funding for Boise State so we can have great rooms and get more gentlemen who are leaders in their county to be here like we are. A big point that we also decided was to include trash cans and garbage cans in every dorm room at Boise State. Our fifth point is to revamp and improve the Boise State Program Bible to make it more detailed and to put more information on it. The sixth point was to provide alternatives to the New York Regents exams. No more state exams. The seventh point was to increase funding. Was to provide tax cuts to all New Yorkers, especially those similar to the first point, who hire from low-income families. I'll just keep reading this. Another objective we hope to accomplish is to lower the drinking age to 18, similar to the age to where you can buy a gun. Now, one of the most points we're proud of is to prevent legislators and those in government the ability to owning stocks and insider trade and everything like that. A class that we would like to bring to every high school in New York is financial literacy and make this a requirement for every New York student. Now, arguably, the most significant point on our sheet is to implement a Boise State currency to where you can buy whatever you want, wherever you want, and earn money as a hardworking American. The Federalist Party, we stand against the New York State phone ban in schools. Voting identification has become a very big discussion in recent years. And the Federalist Party, we hope to create a free voting identification system throughout the state of New York. As Federalists and Americans, we believe it is very important for all of us to stay healthy. That is why we believe that in schools, we should have standardized physical training tests where everyone must meet minimal requirements to portray their well-being, both mentally and physically. In New York, we have a lot of roads, especially in the city. So we hope to put more funding towards these roads and to improve them in every way possible. And our last point is to provide tax benefits for all who take part in community service and to all who give back to this country. Thank you.
All right, I now want to call up the Nationalist Platform Chairman to tell us what the Nationalist Party is about.
First of all, my name is Jameson Delpy, number 0303, and I am your Nationalist Party Platform Chairman. Let's get right into it. We stand with our veterans. We stand for the people that serve our country. We are going to remove state funds that are going towards illegal aliens and relocate the tax dollars to other programs. We also stand with our police. We stand with our law enforcement. We are going to increase funds for local and state law enforcement in the state of New York. We are going to provide state natural disaster relief for the people, hundreds of thousands of people that have been displaced by the recent flooding in recent memory. We plan to allocate funds for that and help a better community thrive. Now here's something. We plan to lower the age of the driver's permit to 15 and license at 15 and a half. Remove curfews for underage drivers and get America and the state driving again. We plan to prosecute the extreme people who make false allegations of rape, sexual assault, and child abuse, who ruin other people's lives for their own gain. We also need to cut out the fat of the state's bureaucracy. We need to deallocate funding to any unnecessary expense the state has been using taxpayers' money for and hand it again to our veterans and law enforcement. Here's a big one, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this. We plan to lower the drinking age to 18 years old. Let's hear it. One more. We plan to remove state DEI programs. Instead, we are going to focus on merit rather than what comes first. We plan to remove state squatter rights and two other things before you cheer. We agree with the Federalists on a lot of things. We strive for bipartisanship. We agree that we should restrict state government officials from trading on the stock market, which is believed to be a conflict of interest. And number two, we plan to undo the state public school ban on phones in classrooms. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for your time.
I would like to request a musical interlude now. I'd like to request a musical interlude now. Go ahead. we're going to start the rallies for the justices of Court of Appeals. So every candidate except for the governor is going to have a 2-minute speech, just one. So, and then the governor, when that happens at the very end, will be 5 minutes, just so you guys know. There are 14 candidates in total for the justices of the Court of Appeals. So each one will have 2 minutes, alternating by party. So we'll start with one candidate for the Federalist Party, and then we'll go, I'll have the Federalist chairman come up and introduce that one for you. And then we'll go to the Nationalist, and then back and forth like that. So all 14 are done. I would recommend, since there's so many, to, in your notes, whatever you want to do, if you want to do a scale from 1 to 10 to just decide who you want, because there are so many for this position, it'll be tough to remember, because the voting is in a couple hours. It's going to be at the very end. So you should probably take notes. All right. I'm turning the podium over to the Federalist Party chairman to introduce the first justice.
All right, boys, let's get started with these speeches for the Judge of Court of Appeals. Our first nominee for the Federalist Party is coming from Stember County, 0300, and his name is Frank DeLeo. Let's give a round of applause.
Hello, Boise State. My name's Frank. My number's 0300. Now, I would like to start off this speech by asking you all to raise your hand if you play a sport. Hands up. There we go. And I want you to keep that hand up if you've ever been a victim of unfair officialing. See, we're all frustrated by it. We all understand that an unjust official has the ability to influence games, tournaments, and even entire seasons. Now, I want to tell you guys a separate story about a friend from Long Island. This individual was overweight, and unfortunately, he was bullied because of this. I could see when his own friends made jokes about him that he was hurt, but he didn't show it. So with the help from another individual, we stood up for him. And over the past few months, not only have we both fortified ourselves physically and mentally, but we've demonstrated what justice looks like outside of the courts. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys these things is because I truly believe that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And as state judge, it is my mission to ensure that every individual in this room, no matter the party, no matter your race or your background, has an opportunity and will be treated under the law in a fair manner. Gentlemen, it's time to vote for justice. It's time to keep the game clean. And for you patriots, for God and country, it's time to promote life, liberty, and happiness. God bless and thank you.
I now want to call back up the Nationalist Party chairman to introduce his justice.
All right. Please put your hands together for nominee Oliver Rapala, number 0631 from Stember County.
Can you guys hear me? How you guys doing today? How was PT in the morning? Hope you guys aren't too tired. My name is Oliver Rapala. I'm from Stember County. I'm running for Judge of Court Appeals. Now, I believe the way any judge should work is with a just and unbiased rule. Now, being said, I believe that we should, I stand with you because I am just a fellow Boise State citizen, just like all of you. Correct? You guys all came here to make our families and our American Legion proud. Am I right or am I wrong? We are winners because we are Boise State. Yeah? but we can only make Boise State powerful together. For the past 3 days, we have been voting for our parties. But I believe no matter if you're yellow or blue, we should work together to make Boise State the best has been forever. All right. I think that we should work together because at the end of the day, we all bleed red, white, and blue because we are Americans. Yeah! Have a great rest of Boise State, and I love all of you.
Okay, the Federalist Party's second nominee is from Pedro County, and his name is Rowan Campion, number 0558. Let's give a round of applause.
All right, before we start, just want to say shout out to Long Island. Where's my LI crew? Yeah, that's what I like to see. My name's Rowan Campion, number 0558, representing Federalist in Pedro County. Previously to this, I was a judge on the city and county level, and making my way up the ranks, I made a lot of friends. As judges, we would be in charge of coming up with a verdict for felonies, which is something to be taken very seriously. It is important as judge, we are unbiased regardless of who you are. I know that although we may be different parties, our teamwork will prevail because we are united under God in New York State. All right, boys, feel free to join me on this one. And if I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York, New York. Thank you.
Next up from Triola County, number 0723, Daquan Smith.
Hello, everyone. Oh, can you guys hear me? All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Daquan Smith. Oh, speak into it. Okay, all right. You guys can hear me? All right. My name is Daquan Smith from Triola County, and I'm running for the judge of the Court of Appeals. When I first... Sorry. I wanted to ask you guys a question before I made my actual speech. First to the Federalists. Raise your hand if you have been, if you have overheard nationalists talking about you like poorly just because you're a Federalist. And if you're a nationalist, can you raise your hand if you've heard a Federalist talking to you poorly because you're a nationalist? This division between the counties and the parties is unacceptable because we're all working for the same thing. We're all working for the betterment of Boise State as a whole. We all want to see success. We all want unity. We all want progress in the nation. We want the building of communities. Now, obviously as a judge, I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to make sure each of my rulings are professional, they're fair, and they're reasonable given any certain circumstances. I'm going to make sure that I can use my judicial power to not only keep this community peaceful and safe, but to uplift it, to help unite Boise State as a whole. I want you guys to be able to express yourselves freely and express your God-given rights without fearing being imprisoned in an unjust manner. Whether that expression is play fighting with your friends, you know, hugging people, calling people like crazy nicknames, which I've heard a lot. You guys all deserve a judge who's going to be unbiased, uncorrupt, a judge who's going to look out for every party. And that is what I promise to do. I yield my time.
Testing, testing. Okay. All right. Our third nominee for the Federalist Party for the Judge of Court of Appeals is going to be from Shiberling County, Remington Hanson, citizen number 0426. Let's give a round of applause. Oh, disregarded, 0416, sorry.
Hello, Boy State. Can you hear me good? My name is Remington Hanson. I'm number 0416, and I'm running to be one of your judges of Court of Appeals. Now, the judge of Court of Appeals for your state reviews decisions made by the lower courts, and he reviews these decisions by the lower courts, and oh my, guys, I apologize. I'm not a great public speaker. I've never talked in front of 600 people before, so I might stumble. I'm human, and I mean, how many of you have come up here and messed it up? Look, I mean, let me restart. I apologize, folks. My name is Remington Hanson. I'm number 0416, and I'm running to be one of your judges of Court of Appeals. Now, the judge of Court of Appeals for your state reviews decisions made by lower courts, like trial courts, to determine if legal errors were made that could have affected the outcome of the case. They did not hold new trials. They did not hear new evidence. Instead, they read legal briefs, hear oral arguments, and then decide whether to affirm, reverse, or modify the lower court's rulings. The job is to ensure the law was applied correctly and fairly. You see, now this is truly an important role within society. The wrong judge can be absolutely devastating to those who are subject to the rulings of the court. Families and even entire groups or classes of people can be affected by what happens in the courtroom. One of my favorite quotes is from Thomas Jefferson. Let me read it to you. It goes, oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Way to bomb. Hey, good luck to everyone else, though.
Next up is Nathan Vasquez, number 39 from Roosevelt County.
Good morning, Boy State. How's everyone feeling today? Good, good. Now, before I start telling all of you why I think you should vote me for your appeals court judge, I want everyone here to give a huge round of applause for the American Legion, the Boy State staff, every United States Marine Corps member, and the Boy State citizens that are sitting here before me, because without any of you, this could not have happened. So let's give a huge round of applause for them. My name is Nathan Vasquez. Now, why I stand before you right now is because I am running for your appeals court judge. And at this very moment, I am one of your 14 democratically elected nominees. Why I say all of you is because I am no longer speaking to just the nationalists. I'm no longer speaking to just my county of Roosevelt. I am no longer just speaking to my city of Downey, where in both I hold lower court positions. Instead, I am talking to the entire Boy State class of 2025 as a single state government for the very first time in our history. Now, this is a state level position, and with that comes great power. I have the power and the authority over every single one of you in any possible criminal case that makes it the way to my court. And I do not want the wrong person to get into this court and utilize political agenda or bias for their own purposes at your expense. Now, as your appeals court judge, I will use my leadership experience throughout high school, Boys State, and my entire life to lead you and to be unbiased, determined, and decisive about criminal matters in my court to make the right decisions. Now, if you care about upholding the law, having fair trials, and doing the right thing, vote Nathan Vasquez, number 0039, for your ACG, otherwise known as your appeals court judge. Thank you.
All right. Our fourth judge from the Federalist Party is going to be from Cogutec County, number 0158, Lucas Bodish. Let's give a round of applause.
Hello, Boys State. I want to quickly shout out the previous Federalist candidate. He made some really good points about what the Judge of Appeals actually does. We review mainly cases and how the law was applied. So we kind of crack down on bad judgments and attorneys in previous cases, okay? So, my name is Lucas Bodish, number 0158. I am from Cogutec County. So first off, I would like to say that I consider myself to be a very ambitious man. I believe myself to be confident and very qualified for this role. But above all else is that I am passionate, and I am passionate about Boys State. Sorry, I don't know if you've been able to tell, but I have lost some of my voice from all the screaming for these previous days. And I guess you could say that Boys State has not only stolen my voice, but my heart. Thank you, thank you. Law is something I'm very passionate and interested in. I've been the city municipal court judge and the county judge as well, and here I'm running for the state. I can attribute, I think, my passion to law from being born and raised in South Africa, a country with one of the highest homicide rates in the world. About 1/4 of people in South Africa will experience a violent crime, okay? And my family and family members have been the victim of lousy judges and corrupt attorneys. And I want to demonstrate that I have the utmost respect for this role and will take it very seriously. And I take rigorous courses of law in my class. I got a 95 on my law final. I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. I've been 0158.
Now we have Nicholas Hartman, number 0203 from Cogutec County.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nicholas Hartman, and I am the nationalist candidate for the justice position. I am from Cogutec County. My number is 0203, and I just want to start off by congratulating all of you here today for making it here. I am just like any one of you. We all have a strong resume. We all have lots of political and leadership experience. But I just want to remind you that accolades and achievements are not very important to the position of a justice. What is important to the position of a justice is their character. And my character is what sets me apart from all the other candidates. I have the drive, the determination, and the motivation to be the best justice that I could possibly be, and to make this Boys State a memorable and enjoyable experience for everybody. I personally believe that the values of respect, empathy, and critical thinking are extremely important to live by. I strive to treat everybody with empathy and respect, and I do not judge people based off of face value, which is a very important factor to consider as a justice. I know that I would make a great justice because I am impartial. I am able to make informed and unbiased decisions using my critical thinking skills. I am insightful. I really would like to make genuine and meaningful connections with the people that I meet here, and I will take the time to understand the motivating factors, the background information, and the thought process that goes into somebody making a decision that they would in the court case. And lastly, I always lead with respect. I value everybody's opinion equally, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that both sides of a court case have equal representation and opportunity to argue their stance. I believe that actions speak louder than words, so vote for me for your candidate for justice, and you will not be disappointed. Thank you.
Okay, so our fifth candidate for Judge of Court of Appeals is going to be Surya Bamaswani from Triola County, number 0729. Let's give a round of applause.
All right. Morning, Boy State. For those of you who didn't hear, I'm Surya from Troyola, but even though I'm from Troyola, I'm here to represent all of you in the Court of Appeals. My past two Federalist nominees have done a great job of explaining what the Court of Appeals does, so I won't go over that again. But here in the United States, we are lucky to have a good law system. Like Lucas said, there are other countries where people get misrepresented in the court, and they have so many injuries, and they lose so much from getting misrepresented in the court. So thousands of Americans every year face injustice in the court, but the law supersedes any partisanship in this nation. The law is equal to everyone, which is why we need a good court system in order to give everyone the right to due process, a fair trial, and opportunity. As a judge, I will be impartial and give everyone, regardless of their political party, creed, nationality, or religion, the right to be defended by the law and given a fair trial. Thank you.
Our next candidate is from Wong County, number 0499, Maverick Kens.
All right. Hello, my name is Maverick. Yep, just like Top Gun. I'm here from Wong County. I'm running for judge. I'll keep this short and sweet so we can get out of here. The most important thing you need in a judge is being impartial and fair. I've lived all over the world, like Japan, Guam, San Diego, and New York. Moving around has made me very open-minded, and I've been able to see lots of different perspectives. Vote for me, and I'll be fair, honest, and I'll listen to all of you. Thank you.
Excuse me, folks. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but there is absolutely nothing that I despise more than oppression. When I was younger, I was taught to speak my mind and to speak up for the little guy. I apologize, folks. It was worth a shot, though. Hey, if you're coming up here, speak your mind.
Continue on with the speeches. Let's go. All right. We need full silence. Let's go. Okay, so our sixth judge for the Federalist Party is going to be from Roosevelt County, number 005. Oh, no, disregard. 0052. And he is Tahir Afrez. Let's give a round of applause.
Hello, Boy State.
I'm sure everybody here, as rising seniors, has taken a class called U.S. History. And I'm sure we all know of our beloved and esteemed first president, George Washington. George Washington left us with an important message that I will use to support my candidacy as state judge. He told us that neutrality was one of the most important things, to avoid political parties and to see everyone as equal. This equality is exactly what the Marines preach to us as Boy Staters. We are all meant to look the same. We are all meant to hold our water bottles the same and march the same. I promise that as state judge, I will look to you as I do my own county. I will look to you as all the same people. We are all the same, Boy Staters. Additionally, I have over two years of judging experience as a judge at my school for a club known as Model Congress, where I moderated and hosted debates, just as we will later on if we get elected as state judge. Thank you.
Our sixth candidate is Logan Kennedy, number 0273 from Fish County.
Good morning, gentlemen of Boy State. We are here today to decide 7 men that will decide your innocence, whether you're innocent, whether you're guilty, whether or not you deserve to be free for the crimes that you might have committed. If you look left and you look right, and you look at the shirts everybody is wearing, we are all wearing one thing: a Boy State t-shirt. We are all here for the same reason. We were chosen to come here and make a government. I promise you, I'm here to help make speedy trials happen, to make the right decision, and to keep you all innocent, every single one of you. If you are innocent, yeah. I promise to make the right decision and keep you all happy. Whether you're a Fish, whether you're from Triola, whether you're from Stember, Stratford, Cogatan, Pedro, Wong, Steinberg, McNeely, I can't read that, Roosevelt, I promise to treat you all the same. Vote Logan Kennedy for Jury of Appeals.
All right, Boy State, we need as much hype as possible for our last nominee, the 7th court judge we want to choose for the Federalist Party is the man, the myth, the legend, Samir Shaikh from Cogatan County.
My name is Samir Sheikh, 0446 from Wong County. You've heard this from 12 people, but just to recap, the most important thing for a judge is to be fair, impartial, and to view everyone here. No matter your county, no matter your city, no matter your party, no matter what position you hold, you are all one and the same. Your voice is one. You matter. In the Court of Appeals, if I am elected, I vow that I will view all of you as one person and one voice. Each and every one of you will be equal. It doesn't matter if you are a governor, doesn't matter if you are a normal citizen. Your voice is one, and I will recognize that. And I will uphold the Constitution. And I will keep order. Thank you.
Can we now get a big round of applause for our final candidate, Henry Main Chang from Schuyberling County, number 0399.
Nearly 30 years ago, my mother volunteered in the Blue Atolls of Vanuatu, a small island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. She was there to create a new system of government based on the American ideals of justice. It's the lessons that she's taught me about the judicial system that I stand here before you today to ask to be your Justice of Court of Appeals. Now, I've done national debate, I've done mock trial, I've had a judicial internship, and I've been my city's attorney. But really, there's one vital piece of experience that I'm missing. I'm wearing this shirt. You all had to work hard to wear this shirt. And it's because every single one of you is wearing this shirt right now that I will ensure that you have the fairest trial possible, regardless of your party. Now, I have tirelessly studied the Boise State Penal Code and procedure for a trial court. My favorite procedure, turn to page 38 and check number 10. The judge swears the jury to impartially try the case. I will make sure that every single one of you has the most impartial case possible. My other favorite procedure is number 23. The judge adjourns the court. I will ensure that my courtroom will run as quickly and efficiently as possible because I respect you and I respect your time. Now, the other candidates that have come up here today, they're just as qualified as me, but they're here to win this position. I'm ready for this position. Vote Henry Main Chang, number 0399 for your Justice Court of Appeals.
Okay, before we interlude, I just want to say we only have a few things left. We have the comptroller, which is just two candidates. It's two candidates for everything from now on. We just have comptroller, attorney general, lieutenant governor, and governor, and then we vote, and that's it. So, and also as a reminder, for the vote for these guys, you can vote up to 7 for justices. All right, I'd like to request a musical interlude now. Go ahead. You guys can stand up, stretch, whatever. All right, can I please have all candidates come back up to the stage, including justices, even though we already voted? I mean, already had the speeches. Again, all candidates, please return to your seats. We have a few candidates still in the bathroom, so we gotta wait for them. But I told them to go quick, so. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll write that down.
Hello.
Oh, wait, no, the voters. Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Hi, excuse me. My name is Colin C. from Roosevelt County. I am number 0059, and I'd like to motion that the final positions that we're running for get an extra minute added onto their speech times, given that there's only two candidates.
Can you say the last part louder? I couldn't hear
Can
it.
we get an extra minute for the next candidates coming up to their speech times, given that there's only two candidates per position?
Do you want 3 minutes for the rest of the candidates?
Yes, please.
For the speeches?
Given
Okay,
it's only two candidates per position.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, motion to increase the speech time for the next 3 candidates from 2 to 3 minutes. Anybody second that?
I second that motion.
Okay. Oh, wait. I have to open discussion. Wait. I have to open discussion. All right. I have to open up discussion for a bit. If anybody wants to say anything on the motion, they can on the mic.
I
Go ahead.
move that we only move it to 3 minutes for lieutenant governor and governor.
Okay. Hey. Just so you know, governor is 5 minutes. They're the only one that has increased time as of right now.
Then just for lieutenant governor, 3 minutes.
Just lieutenant governor, 3 minutes? Okay, well, we have to vote on the first motion first, so wait there for a second. All in favor of increasing the next 3 speech times from 2 to 3 minutes, say aye. And all opposed, say nay. All right. Okay, so the new motion that that you just proposed is that just lieutenant governor is increased from 2 to 3 minutes. So I can open discussion for a few seconds if anybody wants to come up and talk about that. This is just for lieutenant governor from 2 to 3 minutes.
I second because lieutenant governor is very important.
Okay. So we have a second. Anybody else want to talk about it on the mic? Feel free to come up. I think there's 2.
Do candidates for comptroller and those other candidates feel that they need the 3 minutes, or do they feel that they just need the 2?
Okay, we're going to vote now. All in favor of that motion to just increase the lieutenant governor's speeches from 2 to 3 minutes, say aye. Aye. All against, say nay. We have to go to a hand vote. That was too close. I'm sorry. Can I have each county chairman collect the votes of just the ayes from each? What? Okay, all right. Sorry. First, let's do a hand vote so I can visually see it. So, if you're in favor of increasing the time from 2 to 3 minutes for lieutenant governor, raise your hand. Okay, hands down, hands down. All against, raise your hands, please. Okay, that made it pretty obvious. All right, that passes. 3 minutes for the lieutenant governor's speeches. The next 2 will be 2 minutes. Everything's 2 candidates from now on.
I also have a motion.
Okay.
I motion to make the Attorney General's speeches lengthened by 30 seconds because I think we all deserve to hear Terry talk for longer.
Okay. Okay, does anybody second that? Okay, so we have a second. I'm opening discussion. Again, we're going quickly, so quickly come up to the mic if you have anything to say about it. Okay, I don't see anybody. I'm going to move on unless somebody objects. Okay, so to increase the voting time for Attorney General, which is in the next one after this one, from 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, say aye if you are in favor. And say nay if you're against. Nay! Okay, nay wins. So it's 2, 2, 3, and 5. That's it. All right, I need to get a move on with this, so I also wanted to say that the state troopers came up to me and we're talking about the notes that you take on the people up here, which I recommend doing. That's smart. Should be in the Bible, not on your phone. Okay, so they're gonna tell you to put your phone away. Do it in your Bible instead. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start the rally for the comptrollers now. They're 2 minutes in length, so please pay attention. Again, you can only vote one of the 2, unlike the justices. The justices were different, but I'm now going to turn over the podium to the party chairman for the Federalists to introduce our comptroller for the Federalists.
All right, I just want to make a quick correction. My glorious King Samir is not from Kogatek, he's from Wong County. All right. Going straight into this, the comptroller, the Federalist Party is nominating Payan Lee from Pedro County for our comptroller. Give a round of applause. Oh, and his citizen number is 0546.
Now, many of you may have already heard this story, but I'll tell it again. I fled China 11 years ago. I fled China in search for a better life, in search for economic and political freedom that we did not have there. My parents and I believe that every person should have the ability to have a say in their government and have the ability to move up in their economic status. When we were leaving, I asked my mom, 我们明天会不会回家? Will we go home tomorrow? But little did I know that in a few hours I'll be home in the United States of America at JFK Airport. But these times are dire. The dream that we had is looking increasingly out of reach. The American dream that was presented to us is now in danger. So we must not vote by political parties because there are no political parties. There are nationalists who believe that we should lower income taxes because we deserve to have money in our hands and not the cracks of bureaucracy. There are federalists who believe that the border should be secured, and there are federalists who believe that there should be merit in the workforce. We are not so different after all. Because after all, you elected my nationalists, another Asian for comptroller. So now, you may be wondering, if our taxes are so high, how are we going to afford the rent? How are we going to afford the bills? Ladies, gentlemen, my name is Pei-En Lee, and I'll be paying the bills.
All right, now I'm going to bring up the Nationalist Party chairman to introduce his comptroller.
I will be introducing the Nationalist Party comptroller candidate, the other Asian, Jameson Daopei, number 303 from Stenberg County.
Hey guys, my name is Jameson Delpy, 0303. First of all, can those guys hear me in the back? Can you guys hear me in the back? I know everybody asks you that. Pedro, Spafford, Triola, Wong, and Schleiberling. Yup, troopers, can you hear me? Okay, I can get loud if I want to, so. I got 2 qualifications for you. 2 qualifications. First, I am broke! I am broke. I work a minimum wage job in the state of New York. Let's hear it if you're broke. I know the value of money. I know the value of money more than anyone. I work for $15.50, taxes $14.25, okay? And while we're on this topic, I want to just have a shout out to this Asian comptroller over here by the Federalist. The courage, integrity, and bravery that he shows immigrating from China is amazing. Now, second qualification, I am a failure. I fail way too much at this state. Now, let me hear it if you are a failure at this state. If you ran for something and you failed. I failed a long time ago. I ran for National Honor Society president, failed. UNICEF Treasury, failed. And then I realized something. After a while, I just kind of devoted myself to winning so much that I didn't realize that one of my friends, I had pushed away from him so much that he was hurting on the inside. So I want to bring this pivot to mental health. If you vote for me, I will guarantee mental health departments, mental health facilities, and
this work? All right. Okay, so keep those two candidates in mind. Hey, keep those two candidates in mind for later. We're moving on to the Attorney General candidates. So I would like to call up the Federalist Party Chairman to introduce his Attorney General.
All right, the Federalist Party is nominating for Attorney General from Roosevelt County, number 0048, Daniel Punatel. Let's give a round of applause.
Hello, Boys State. Can you hear me? Okay, so unfortunately I only have 2 minutes, so I'm going to speak my heart out as quickly as I possibly can. That sound good to you? Okay. First, I want you to read page 4 of your Bible. You guys walk with this all the time. Read this quote inside of it. This quote means, well, the way I'm going to use it is that you guys should vote the way you want to. Be disciplined because this is our Boys State. This is our government, and this is going to be ingrained in Boys State history. Boys State 2025, so take it seriously. You guys ready for that? Yeah. Okay. So first off, do we know what Attorney General is? Do we know what we do? Okay. First of all, I want to explain. Nationalist and Federalist does not matter to Attorney General. I know that sounds crazy. All we have to do is moderate the district attorneys and represent the state. We don't propose any new bills. So why would it matter if I'm a Federalist and a Nationalist? My goal is to stop you guys from being misrepresented. It sucks to sit in a courtroom and to see that your attorney or your judge is not favorable towards you. And just because of that, you may lose a case. And most of the time when you lose a case, you are penalized. Do you want to feel like your country has failed you? Because I'm trying to remind you that it did not, and I will not let this happen in our court system. How does that sound, guys? So let me explain to you how I'm going to do this. First, I am going to educate all our attorneys and judges. If you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, come to me. I'm experienced. I am noted as a witness, top 4 witnesses in New York City. I also, oh damn guys, I have to speed it up. Here's how I'm going to show you that I want to be equal to all of you. Look, this thing, it means nothing to me because justice is blind. She can't see if you're blue or yellow. Thank you. Vote me for Attorney General.
All right, I would now like to call up the Nationalist Party Chairman to introduce his candidate for Attorney General.
Please give a warm welcome to the Attorney General candidate, Samuel Lopez, a.k.a. Terry from Stenberg County, number 0347.
All right. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I'm Samuel Lopez, but known as Terry. So let's get a round of applause for Terry. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I'm running for Attorney General. I was voted in yesterday for a candidate. I'm with all these amazing people right now, and I just want to say one thing. I am here for each and every one of you. This pin means nothing because behind this pin is your Boys State t-shirt. Behind this Boys State t-shirt is you, a human being, no matter what. And as my opponent did say, Lady Justice is blind, but also she has the sword for power. She has the scale to weigh the evidence for the verdict. Don't ever forget that. Each and every one of you guys has a voice. No matter how small it is not too weak to hear. And your ideas are not too dim. I want you guys to vote for me because I will represent you 100%. You give me 50, I give you 100. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Those were our two candidates for Attorney General. We're now moving on to Lieutenant Governor. It's the last 2-minute speech. Oh, no. Now we moved it to 3 minutes. So we're doing 3-minute speeches for those two candidates. So I'm going to turn it over to the Federalist Party chairman to introduce his candidate for Lieutenant Governor.
All right, boys, state, are we ready for the lieutenant governor and the governor's speeches? All right. Representing the Federalist Party, the man who knows the Constitution like it's the back of his hand, the man whose blood is flowing with patriotism, the man whose skin is red, shirt is white, eyes are blue, the man, the myth, the legend, Preston Finley. With a citizen number of 0386.
You guys might be wondering why I'm giving my speech from down here instead of from the pulpit where everyone else has spoken from so far. Well, as my Federalist friends know from last night's convention, I do not believe that I deserve to stand on that pulpit. Because everyone here are equals. Does not matter your pin, it does not matter your skin, does not matter your height, your weight, or anything. All of us are equals. We've all worked so hard here, none of us are perfect, we all have our flaws, and just because I'm running for this position doesn't mean I deserve to stand up there and look down at all of you. And on the idea of parties, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of our Constitution, the rights that we all live by in today's day and age, written back in the 1700s. The only way those came about were through bipartisanship and people who disagree working together. People in opposing parties making compromises and sharing ideas and talking things out. That is important, and that is lacking in today's culture of politics. It seems that every time there's an election, half the country or half the people who voted end up upset until the next election that they win, because no one is willing to budge on their ideas and make room and listen to what everybody wants and make compromises. We can do this as a state, as a group of intellectuals here, the near 600 of us, down on this floor, up on this stage, we can all make a difference. I promise you that as Lieutenant Governor, I will listen to every last one of you, not just the ones from my county, Shaberling, not just from Wong or Pedro or Spafford or Troyola, but Fitch and Kogatek and McKinley and Roosevelt. It does not matter if you're in this front row or if you're in the back row or if you're on stage. And I'm sorry, I did not see the sign. Stemmer. I love you, Stemmer. I love you guys. Let's go. I will make sure to listen to every last one of you. Sorry about that, guys. But I just want to make sure that even if I don't win this, we take a step to bipartisanship, that we work together more in politics, in this state, in this world, right here in Boise State. Who's with me? My name is Preston Finley, and I am 0386.
Hey, Preston, make sure you turn that off before you leave. All right, thank you. Okay, so for this section, our last candidate, so our second candidate for Lieutenant Governor, I'd like to bring to the podium our party chairman for the Nationalists.
Our Lieutenant Governor nominee is from Pedro County, number 0519, Graydon Murphy, a.k.a. the one and only Smiley. Please give him a round of applause.
Good morning. Now, I'd like to start off by saying I'm not speaking up here because I think I'm better than any of you. I'm speaking up here so you all can see me in the back, so the counselors can see me. My name's Graydon Murphy. I'm from Pedro County, and I'm the Nationalist nominee for Lieutenant Governor. Now, when I first ran for this position,
I ran on a campaign that you always have to smile. And I still believe that when I'm up here. No, I would never say anything bad about any of the Federalist candidates up here, about any of my Federalist friends in the audience, but I will say this. A select few of us in this room came home pretty late last night. They had to walk home in the rain. Now, I'm sure many of you who had to go through that didn't really appreciate it. So I'm here to offer you a solution. That doesn't have to go on anymore. At the state legislature level, we can elect people not based on our party, but based on who will represent us best at the state level. The major policy I'm going to push for is to decrease income taxes. As you all know, in New York State, we have one of the highest income taxes in the country, and yet we are ranked one of the lowest in education and infrastructure. How can that be? Where does our money go towards? Well, I'll tell you what it goes towards. It mostly goes towards illegal aliens coming to our country. We give them our money. It's true. It's true. It's true. We shouldn't be giving away taxpayer money from New York State's our money to people who break our laws to enter our country. It's that simple. It's really, yeah. I have a great amount of empathy for everybody who comes to this country to achieve the American dream, but they have to do it legally, through our laws, 100%. Because without laws, there's no society and there's no government. So what I will do is I will take the money. Well, we'll have to get an amendment as Lieutenant Governor, but we're going to take it. We're going to take that money going to illegal aliens. We're going to give it back to the people. We're going to give it back to us, and we're going to make this the best boys state ever. So vote for me for Lieutenant Governor, and we're going to make that happen. Thank you guys very much.
Okay, before I call another musical interlude, all we have left is governor to vote on. They will have 5 minutes when we get back. It's just 2 candidates left.
Excuse me?
Okay.
I would like to propose an amendment.
A motion?
Or a motion, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so governor is an extremely important position, so I think both candidates must answer 3 well thought out questions, but only 1 question per county.
Okay. Does anybody second that motion?
I second that motion.
Okay, I'm going to open up the microphone to discussion for a few seconds. Anybody wants to come up and talk about that before we vote on it? Just
How are we qualifying well thought out questions?
hey, listen.
How are we qualifying well thought out questions? Who's picking these questions?
I don't think we're going to qualify that as part of the actual.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but you just come up with one with your county. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, every county would agree on 1 question. I think that's what the motion would be. Unless, am I wrong? Whoever made the motion.
Yeah, we can do 1 question per county.
1 question per county. You guys agree on it and then present it. That's the motion.
Yeah, I would say for each one of our counties, at least in Roosevelt, we had, during our elections, we had questions for every single candidate that they had to answer before we voted them in. So I think that because this is the most important position in Boise State, that should be passed.
Was that a new motion?
No, this is in support of the previous.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in support of the motion, governor's the most important position, so the more we can know about the person that we're electing, the better.
Okay, I would like to add before we discuss it a little bit more that we have lunch coming up soon, and I think 3 questions would take 3 times as much as if we did 1 question per. If we just did 3 questions so that we could all agree on 3 questions, that would be better just to save time. So. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to support this motion. I think it's essential that we, especially for the most important position, we can get their take on things that we ask them and not what only they answer for us.
Okay.
I was going to offer up 1 question per county that they can only ask towards either of the 2 candidates.
Okay. That's too many, though. Wait, give me a second. Hey, I was just informed by staff, we don't have time for the questions, and we can't entertain this motion, I'm sorry. So we're just gonna move on. Musical interlude. I'm requesting a musical interlude for the next few minutes. You can stand up and stretch, whatever. We'll reconvene in a couple minutes for governor. Thank you. I said musical interlude. I said. Well, do you want to skip the musical interlude? All right, we're skipping the musical interlude. If everyone could return back to their seats. We're on time crunch here, so we got to rush everything. I'm sorry. Okay, this is the most important election that we do at Boys State, so please keep that in mind. I want very, very quiet. Take notes if you want. Please, this is very important. Cast your vote wisely. The speeches for the governors can be up to 5 minutes each. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the party chairman for the Federalists to introduce the Federalist governor candidate.
All right, Boys State, these are the last two speeches for this assembly meeting, and it's going to be governor. So representing the Federalist Party is going to be the man who raised over $25,000 for his girlfriend's little sister with a chronic disease. Let's give it up for citizen number 0458, David Brophy.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? We excited to be done with this? Are we excited to do real change here at Boys State? Because no matter what happens, I am not here for talk. I am not here to talk your head off and give some long-winded speech about all the things that I've done in my past. I'm not going to lay on the councils I've done, not going to lay on the legislation I've passed. Instead, I'm going to do real change here at Boys State, because we deserve a better New York State for us. Am I right? Do we want talk or do we want real change? Talk or real change? Thank you. I'm going to tell you a story, and I have a couple friends out here who can confirm. Federalists might have already heard this, but I'm going to tell a part of this story that I haven't told before. Outside of my school, this October, there was spray paint with a time, a place, and a date for a school shooting to happen at my school. Fourth period, on October, I believe, 28th was the time. That's correct. Arden Jalal, right there, can confirm. So can Ryan Garver in the back. I'm going to tell a part of the story that I didn't tell before. Fourth period, the time that that school shooting was supposed to happen, I was texting my parents throughout the whole period, telling them that I'm okay, nothing's wrong, it's good that I have my phone to communicate with my parents, make sure we are safe. Am I wrong? Sitting across the auditorium in my study hall was a freshman with a Glock 19 sitting in her backpack. Her friend, had pulled out and talked to our school officer. Luckily, getting the word out there, and luckily, she didn't follow through. But could you imagine what could have happened if that had gone down and I had no way of telling my parents I'm okay, or if I'm laying on the ground bleeding out from someone whose mental health was so unsupported in our state that they were driven to do such a terrible thing in our school system? Could you imagine what would happen? So let me ask you, do we want to sit around and do we just want to let legislation pass that'll take away that communication? Or do we want to tell everyone what we, the students of New York State, stand for and what we need it for? Do we want talk or do we want real change? Do we want talk or do we want real change? Let me tell you a second story. I do track. I'm an athlete, okay? And every single day at the beginning of our practice, we have to carry about 20 pounds of equipment about 100 yards from one equipment room on the far side of the school all the way to throwing circles on the other side. We did not have funding to get bags to hold it, to get anything. We had to beg and pray our personal school athletic director for years to get little plastic bags that cost $5 to carry equipment in. Is that fair? Is it fair that our extracurriculars, something that matters much more than academics for many people, are underfunded within our state? Is that fair? No. So let me ask you, do you want talk or do you want real change? Do you want a governor who has gained his town youth board $400,000 this last year in funding for town events? Do you want someone who knows the legislation, knows the money, and knows how to bring support to you, the students? Huh? Thank you. And let me ask you one more thing. Do you want a governor who will elect you, who will appoint you, who will appoint you and you and you and you, and who will make sure that this boy state has the best, the brightest, and who will make real change here in Boy State for our county legislative to represent the people we are, the people from Long Island, the people from Western New York, the upstate people, downstate. Everyone in New York deserves that chance and deserves that right. I am David Brophy. I am looking to make talk or real change. Thank you very much, and God bless America.
Okay, our final speech of the day will be our nationalist governor candidate. So I'm going to call up the party chairman for the nationalists to introduce him to us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kyle Lee. But for those of you who do, you know that I'm not just Lee, I'm a leader. Now I'm here to announce our next leader. So please put your hands together for Parker Lachansky from Triola County, number 0721.
Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Parker Lachansky. I want to start by asking a single question. Who here is having a good week? Who here appreciates our veterans and our Legionnaires who have set this up? Who here has told them that directly and shown our appreciation to them? Can we get a round of applause for all these brave men and women who have set this up, volunteered their time, and served our country? A very common phrase I've heard from multiple candidates is, I want to be the governor for the people. I don't agree with that. I don't want to be for the people. I want to be the people. Every opinion in this room deserves right. They deserve the ability to be heard, and they deserve the ability to every opinion be listened to no matter what. I want to be the cumulative voice of every single face in this room, no matter what party you are from. I want to get into some policies now. The Federalist Party has many good policies that I agree with and I will back wholeheartedly. Removing phones, the revampment of the Boy States Bible, financial literacy class especially. But there are some things I don't agree with. Lowering the cost of living is important to our society, but the way that we need to go about this is by boosting economic productivity and making sure that our state of New York is the biggest producer of every single good in America. We have the infrastructure for this. We need to become the largest economic powerhouse in the nation. There is absolutely no reason that we cannot do this with the amount of infrastructure. We are one of the most population-dense states, and we need a strong government who is focused on making money. I have a question. Who likes money? We need to become the most powerful money-making state to lower the cost of living, which will in turn lower taxation, create jobs, and boost every single aspect of our state. Democracy is one of the most important ideologies we all share as Americans. There have been countless men and women who have laid their life down for this simple ideology. Every single bill that is passed, every single idea that is brought up needs to be voted on 100%, and majority wins. That is it. No question. DEI is something I'm sure we're all familiar with. Every person born in America deserves to start on an even playing field, no matter where you're from, what you look like, or where you stand. Boise State has showed me that this is something that is completely possible. Every single one of us has came with no experience, limited knowledge on the program, all wearing the same thing, and not knowing any of us. There is no reason that any of us had any better chance of standing where I am right now. I believe every single person in here has the opportunity to become whatever they want due to the uniformity we have and the fact that we all started at the same exact level. That needs to go for every single aspect of our nation. This position comes with an immense amount of responsibility, authority, and power. We need somebody who does not want to be a boss. We don't want somebody who's going to boss around, sit in the office, and tell other people what to do. We need somebody out front speaking for their party, giving the hardest working person in that party, no matter what. I believe there is no better candidate for the governor than myself. I have had years of experience running clubs. I am in charge of 185 people. I have the tools to deal with this amount of responsibility, and I will make sure that every single person in here is represented equally, fairly, and has the opportunity to vote for whatever they want. My final point, I want to remove any wasteful spending from our government and reallocate that to our veterans, especially our injured veterans, and I want to make sure that any heinous act committed against a child is considered a Class A felony with 25 years in prison.
Let's hear it for our candidates. Let's get a round of applause for all of our candidates. All right, we're skipping the musical interlude because we're in a time crunch again. All right, the last thing that I have to do here is introduce the party chairman again for a wrap-up, like a rah-rah. Last thing. So I'm calling up the Federalist Party chairman to do that.
All right, Boise State, we are all done with the speeches. Well, I guess I'm doing a speech right now, so we're not really. But I hope we all have been having an amazing week, all right? Hope this is all fun for all of us, and hope we're understanding how the systems have been working. I just want to say all my nominees that we've done with the Federalist Party have been amazing to work with, and they've been super hardworking, talking to me inside and outside of the meetings. So I'm super happy and super proud of all my nominees. And let's just give a round of applause for everybody that stands up here and gives a speech, whether that be Federalist or Nationalist. They come up here and speak in front of over 700 people, and they're nervous, but they can get through it. So let's just, great job, boys. That's all. Thank you, guys.
Like I said before, I'm not just Lee, I'm leader. And let me tell you something, everyone. The Nationalist Party has leaders, and Boise State needs leaders, okay? I promise you that the Nationalist Party will approach everything with passion, dedication, and leadership. So if you want a successful Boys State, just know that the Nationalist Party should be your first choice. Thank you.
All right, last thing, we got to vote. The candidates will remain on the stage. I need to call out Mr. Grieco to explain the voting process. It's going to be online now, so it'll be much faster than what we did to get to this point. He's going to explain it, and then that's it. So. Oh, it says. Okay, go. Do you want me to?
Just make sure you're listening while I'm talking to you guys. I'll exit this way. This way. This way. This way. This way. Thank you. All right. Good morning, gentlemen. So because of the time crunch with lunch, we're going to change things up a little bit as far as counties go, but you'll understand what I mean in a minute. So we're going to be doing a little bit of staggering eating as well as voting at the same time. So for the first two counties, for example, so it's going to be Roosevelt and McNeely. As soon as we're done here, you guys, or before even voting starts, you guys are going to make your way to lunch. You guys will not vote until you come back. That way on your phone. And then as time goes along, 15, 20 minutes or so, the next two counties, the next two counties, the next two counties, et cetera. Does that everyone make sense so far? Counselors, all set so far? So these two first Roosevelt and McNeely, counselors, head on over to lunch. For the remaining 8 counties, there will be a QR code that either your counselor has or will be on the screen that you guys can scan and vote right away, and it goes through everything just like that. And in about 15 minutes, we'll be sending the next 2 counties. And if for any counselor or for any counties that had yearbook photos scheduled for lunch, we're going to be pushing those back for dinner.
Stop moving. I have an announcement. The counties having yearbook photos for lunch are getting pushed back to dinner. The counties doing yearbooks at dinner time tonight or now tomorrow at lunch. So no yearbook during lunch. Thank you.
If for whatever reason you don't have cell phone service, either A, your option is to use a CityMates or friend's phone next to you, or B, there are 4 laptops at tables about midway at the table. If I could have Mr. McNerney and Mr. Martindale handle those laptops. Anybody for CP as well, go ahead and go to lunch. That way we can avoid that situation. If you don't have cell phone service, you can use the laptops or a friend's phone that might be near you if they have service.